Yo, what's going on, guys? So today is also, by the way, sorry again. Such ass. My mic is so dookie. I know I sound terrible right now with this ass mic. It is what it is. I need to get a better mic. Anyway, so this is the 19th of November 2025, and this is going to be my third trade recap that I'm going to post on YouTube. Again, I'm going to be posting a trade recap every single day on YouTube. No trade or a trade. For today, I did actually take a trade. I took shorts today, and I'm going to go over why I took that trade and honestly what I was just feeling going into the market today and what I was looking for. So yeah, let's get into it. Boom. Cool. So coming into the day, I was actually pretty bullish, right? You know, ask why would I be bullish? Looking quite bearish here on the higher time frame for sure. But the thing is, right, we had a SMT. Boom, boom, boom. Obviously, the higher time frame, the higher power. We had a weekly SMT. So we had an SMT with a weekly low that we put in here. So I wasn't just purely bullish off that, by the way, of course. I was bullish to an extent as well because let me actually just go back here so it looks better so you can actually see what I was genuinely thinking. What is this? Start new? Okay, yeah. So cool. Right, coming into the day, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Why did that candle just spawn in? Trading view tweaking, but just ignore this bullish candle. Again, we had the SMT with a weekly low, so if we also look at this like price range that we're in right now, we are pretty overextended. This bearish price range, like we were due for a higher time frame rebalance. My final draw on liquidity for today was this 4-hour wick within this 4-hour fair value gap, which is Asia session highs from Monday. So again, super overextended in a bearish sense. We were due for a higher time frame rebalance, and we also had that SMT at that weekly low, which is basically telling us that today is most likely going to be the day that we have that balance, that rebalance. And then if we want to scale down to the lower time frame, I'm going to get into, where's this? Cool, there it is. I looked at what the overnight sessions did as well, because when you're determining your bias, looking at the overnight sessions is super, super important, because they usually lead into what New York is going to do next. So come into the overnight sessions here. Where are they? Cool, so they're just within this range here. We had a bearish fair value gap, which was made here. And as we can see, we ended up inversing this bearish fair value gap to the upside. And we also created a bullish fair value gap right here, which I think, did we come in and respect that? What time is this? This is 6. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. I skipped too far ahead. Okay, anyway, there we go. We come into this bullish fair value gap and we respect it. So at this point, we're delivering from sell side. We disrespected a higher time frame bearish PD array, and then now we opened up a bullish PD array and we're respecting it. So at this point, everything is telling me that we sort of want to have a little higher time frame rebalance today, if anything. And if we go to the 50-minute, like we have a lot of liquidity to the upside that is just untouched. All that liquidity is looking pretty touchable. Like, look at this shit. We have New York PM highs from yesterday. We have PDH. We have previous day high from yesterday. We have London session liquidity up here untouched, and we have Asia session liquidity from Monday untouched as well, which is a 4-hour wick within a 4-hour fair value gap, which is my final draw on liquidity for bullish price action. Anything after that was we'd either reverse or we'd either continue going higher, but more likely than not, we're going to go reverse because we're in a pretty bearish market structure right now. So this was like the higher time frame rebalance that we would need and that I would like to see for us to continue moving bearish. So with that in mind, what I was looking at coming into today and what I wanted to see happen on market open for me to take a trade towards these draws on liquidity being like the Cadillac or the catalyst for price's bullish momentum for the day is I wanted to see market open lower. So for us to this and then market open lower and then make a move higher. And specifically my condition for today was that we come lower and we sweep out these 15-minute equal lows within this 15-minute fair value gap, right? This was like my condition that I wanted to see met before I were to take longs to the upside towards these draws on liquidity. And what we do on market open, what time is this? This is 8:55, so Boom, boom, boom. Cool. NQ is doing usual NQ shit. We come down a market open, we manipulate lower, and we edge these we edge these lows. We like edge the shit out of them, and I was not a fan. I didn't like the way we edge these lows. These are 15-minute equal lows and a 15-minute PDRA within like discount within like a good range as well. Like in this range that we had of price, like right here. Like bruh, yeah, it's like bang on, like just below CE of the range. Like if we could take out those longs from there, would have been astronomically devious. Astronomically devious. So again, NQ doing NQ things, it edges these equal lows, and we just displace higher, and we run straight through. Well, that kind of spoiled it on the 15-minute, but we run straight through this bearish fair value gap, and we displace instantly through it, and we close above. Now, you could have taken this trade to the upside. The reason why as well, like I was sort of convinced that we're probably not going to become lower than this in this session's move up, or in this like this distribution up, if we're going to be bullish here, is because if we go look at the CVD chart as well, guys, I'm telling you, CVD is actually goated. Asia session poked in this low right here, and if we look at CVD on market open, absolutely ripped past this low completely, and then NQ rejected off this 15-minute, this like key level here, and then made a move higher. So we had a bullish CVD divergence. Like everything was leaning. Like this trade was looking so good, except for the fact that we didn't meet my condition and take out these 15-minute equal lows, which is just unfortunate. Edged it by like a tick, is what it is. Cool. So after this, we displaced through this 5-minute, and we just had a bull run. We were sprinting to the upside. We took out all these draws on liquidity that I was pretty confident would get hit today, especially these three in particular: London AM, or London PDH, London previous day high and PM sessions high. I was like strongly convinced these three were going to get slammed to the dome, and then from here, if we want to come up and take Asia, that's just like an extra at that point, right? So we displaced. There's literally no retracements as well into any 5 minutes that we opened, or even the 15-minute we opened. There was no retracements in for me to take along towards these areas. It was just pure displacement, pure bullish run through all of this liquidity. And then there we go. We ended up taking out my final draw on liquidity for the day, which was my final draw on liquidity for bullish price action, to be honest, in this market structure, was Asia sessions high that we left in on Monday within this fair value gap. So it's a prominent wick within a higher time frame key level. This is like perfect now if market wants to reverse. Well, spoiler, it did reverse. Then I would like 100% be willing to take shorts from this level to a, again, I'm going to use the range here, to an unmitigated fair value gap within this leg of price. Okay, so again, super overextended just in this bullish run. Like we were due for a retrace on this, especially after taking out all of that liquidity that we just did here. And we were looking for, I was 100% inclined to take shorts if my model presented itself. So we left a 15-minute fair value gap. Again, rejection of sweeping out Asia session highs from Monday and tapping into a 4-hour fair value gap. In an overall bearish market structure too on the higher time frame, I was like, cool, I will 100% take a short here. If we get a clean displacement through the highest time frame fair value gap inversion within this leg of price, I will be willing to take a short down to the 15-minute fair value gap, which we left unmitigated and untouched down here. Boom. So as soon as we took Asia, we opened up this 2-minute. There was no 3-minute, as you can see. Boom, 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 boom. There was no 3-minute here. Actually, let me just hop off replay mode, because I don't think that even shows executions, which I only noticed today. Yeah, it doesn't. Wow. It would be natural to show it. We had no 3-minute. We had this 5-minute, which was down here, which is where we, right here where we tapped this 5-minute and the rejected office. So if anything, I would have went break even at this low, but that was already super close to my take profit. So I mean, it was whatever. I did go break even at this low, but it's okay. Didn't really do too much, but it was like logical to go break even at this low for sure. And we instantly displaced through this 2-minute, and then I entered shorts on this candle right here. So again, displacement, and then obviously I got my entry right on the next candle, and my stop was at the high here. So it was a 40-point stop I entered this trade with 1 mini. Yeah, I took this trade with 1 mini, so I took this on NQ. And at this point, once I entered, we kind of just started to consolidate a bit, but it didn't really worry me too much, because what I was looking at here is we created like this accumulation zone right here. So if we were to displace through this accumulation zone to the upside, then I'm probably going to get cooked. But if we displace downwards, then we should be completely chilling. And what we ended up doing is we ended up displacing. Let me actually get rid of this. You can see, ended up displacing through this accumulation zone right here on this candle here. We ended up displacing right through that accumulation zone. And once we did that, I decided to manage my position a little bit better and move my stop loss to these accumulation highs that were poked in here. Because it just made sense to me that, cool, we displaced through this accumulation zone. I want to see like some rapid movement towards my take profit here. I want to see some rapid movement towards this 15-minute unfilled fair value gap, right? Which is exactly what we did have. And it's just like, if price were to like mess around here and then come back up and displace through these highs, I just don't even want to be in the trade anymore at that point, right? So that was my thought process on moving my stock to here. And then again, rapid displacement through this. Once we took out this 5-minute low, I just moved my stop to break even. And then from there, we just delivered. We just displaced right to this 50-minute, and we delivered a lot further than that. Yeah, I could have held this shit to the moon and stars, or sorry, to the bottom of the earth if I wanted to. Caught 377 points. But yeah, like I got my piece of the pie. I took profits where I felt it was logical to do so. It didn't have my trade running for 15, expecting price to run 400 points to the downside. It was just a simple get your piece of the pie and get out, which is like, and it's not sustainable to hold to the moon and stars, right? It's also not good for prop firms to do that. Your consistency rule will be smashed to pieces. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Good A plus model represented itself to the downside to an unmitigated fair value gap, and I took it, and that was it. I was happy that I was patient enough to not obviously FOMO into a long here, even though there was no opportunities to do so. And I waited patiently for my setup to present itself after taking out my final draw on liquidity for bullish price action, which would then flip me bearish, and we managed to catch a nice setup off that to the downside, and that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. Honestly, now for the rest of the week, I'm probably going to be pretty bearish because we just had a higher time frame rebalance here, and obviously, as we were looking at on the higher time frame here, we are looking pretty bearish. If anything, we'll probably want to sweep out these lows down here, like this low from that Trump tweet, which made the market crash. Probably come up and end up taking that, or whatever we want to do. I'll see going into tomorrow what the market presents itself with and determine a bias from there. But yeah, we are looking pretty bearish right now. Probably going to be bearish for the rest of the week, unless Nvidia. I think Nvidia's earnings actually drops in like half an hour or some shit. So that could be pretty interesting to see what that does to the market. Unless Nvidia has another idea for the market, well, we'll see. But yeah, that's basically it. And that was my idea coming into today, and the trade I ended up taking, why I took it, all the reasoning behind it, and so what. So that's basically it. Yeah, that's going to be it for today's trade recap. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to post it or comment it and type it in the comments below. I will 100% answer it. And if you want to talk to me personally, you can. My Discord user is in my bio. It's going to be in. Sorry, not in my bio. It's going to be in the description of this video. So add me on Discord. I'll add you back, and if you have any questions that you want to ask me, fire away, or you can go to my Instagram and DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. Again, fire away, whatever suits you. I'll answer any of them. When it comes to trading, I can answer anything if you have any questions when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I actually just made a TikTok today as well. If you guys want to go check that out, I'll post the TikTok account that I made in the description too. Yeah, pretty simple. So I will be posting another trade recap tomorrow, of course, posting one every single day, documenting this entire journey to profitability. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. That's going to be it for today's trade recap. Again, any questions, feel free to ask. See you guys.